Hello, everybody out there in internet land. Hi, it's Elaine Nieberding, and today I will call it Merci Monday. Willkommen, willkommen, willkommen. I guess I'm going to be talking in a couple different languages, maybe even a little bit the language of laughter. Haha, maybe, or maybe not. but. Thank you for watching live or replay to this 37th, I think it's 37th episode of the Holy Shifts Show. I'm Elaine Nieberding, and we are gathered together today on Monday. It's November 23rd, and since Thanksgiving is approaching here in the U.S., it is a fitting time, oh, that's another F word, for us to give our full attention to those things and relationships that we are so grateful to have, especially our social media relationships, new relationships, and for me, it's especially a wonderful circle of supportive flock over here on Google+. And so I want to welcome into the panel right now my little group. There might be a few others flocking in a little bit further on in the hour. First, I want to say hi to Cheri Valentine. Isn't it wonderful having a woman here with the name Valentine? So suggestive of love, heart connections, and soulful expression. How you doing, Cheri?
I am great, Elaine. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
So I guess you've been thinking about things to be thankful for, and I'm very thankful that you've invited me to join you on Mondays on Blab for your tappy breaks.
Oh, I'm so delighted that you're with me. It makes it so much more fun and real.
And we're going to be shifting the conversation a little bit differently than at 3 p.m. Eastern on Blab to how do you handle when you don't feel like you can muster thanks? That's going to be an interesting conversation. But you're here with me today, so grateful for that. Now I'm going to say hi to CLB. Hello, Christine Bowen, my local lady. God, we have to hang out in real life soon, sometime.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. How are you? Greetings, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving week. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm good. I'm so glad you could join in. And across the Pacific, not the Pacific, ha ha ha, across the Atlantic, we have Dave Moore, the creative of Regeneretics and the Human Potential Transformation Community, which who knows whether that's getting a rebranding, suggesting you might be doing that, but hi, Dave. Thanks a lot.
Not only a rebranding, but moving by the sound of it. I don't mind. I like the idea of the other side of the Pacific. That sounds like a better weather than what we've got here, which is pretty cold in the UK, but not as cold as when I was in Boston. That was freezing. But yeah, good to be here after all this time. This show been going for a long while, and it's gone from strength to strength. So I'm very pleased to be here.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and I guess we'll weave in our F words from time to time during the show. You never know. And now, my dear friend, otherwise known as Elipedia, because, man, he's just so full of it. I mean, full of wisdom and full of knowledge, and I'm continually amazed by this man. Hi, Eli.
Hello, yes, I am indeed full of a lot of things.
And you are joining us from the other great F place, Florida. Are you still in Florida, Eli?
Where else would I go? Once you're in paradise, you stay put.
That's good. Anyway, Eli, you know what? This year, my connection with you has been my greatest grateful surprise. I didn't even know about you at the beginning of the year, and I guess I became aware of your work through I'm forgetting. Well, I become aware of your work over on Google+, and your vast, prolific writing on every subject imaginable. And whenever I called you to invite you to participate on the panel, and you said yes, I was like, I was F-word flattered, and you're just so much fun. So thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm jumping on over to Jeremy Murphy. Jeremy, thank you for showing up early in the hour. Thank you for showing up on Blabs with me, keeping me company when, boy, it's so much easier when you at least have one other person to share the conversation with. Doesn't that make it nicer?
It does.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Elaine? Good to be here.
I'm doing good, and it's just been so much fun watching you find your voice here in live streaming and in different venues, and kind of launch your whole positivity patrol thing. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for all your help with co-hosting and supporting me. You've really had a lot to do with helping me find my inner voice. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. And Lisa Dodd, helping me tap into more of my own, finding and acknowledging my own fabulousness. Hey, say that 3 words time. Fabulous, 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 fabulous. 4 times. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm great, thank you. It's I'm coming to you from cold Canada. Actually, we got snow on the ground already here. So thank you for having me. It's been great. This is just the second time that I've done this with you, but I'm excited to be here again today.
Yeah. So thank you. So this year, it strikes me that one of the themes that we see everywhere is, there's so much happening mobile-wise. Vast migrations of people due to challenging circumstances, environments. And in social media, so many different platforms reconfiguring themselves to reach more audiences and be mobile friendly. We know in I think it was April of this year, Google made this announcement saying, hey, your websites really need to be mobile friendly. And yet, we've had changes with how Google Plus has been configured. Just this past week, there has been a whole new way of experiencing Google Plus. It's more mobile friendly. And then we've had all these changes in our Hangouts platform and the emergence of Periscope and Meerkat and Blab, which has had lots of live streaming hosts here on Hangouts kind of migrating over there. And I have seen so many friendships that I first developed, formed over here in Google Plus. Now they're alive and flourishing, also on Facebook and also on Blab. And so I guess those are the things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I've had good social friends that I have been able to continue to flock with in these new places that I've found myself migrating to. And so I wonder from my panel, what they're grateful about, particularly about their social relationships and with all this movement that's going on. Who's right to talk?
I will.
Cheri! My Cheri Amore.
The F word that's been coming, that just showed up for me, is flourishing. I feel that so many of us are flourishing in my relationships with many of the folks that I had previously and originally met in G Plus are flourishing with Blab. And just having the opportunity to get together and just talk, just real conversation, and share each other's viewpoints and support each other and grow has just been such a blessing, and for that I am so grateful. Right.
It's been fun to actually, again, appear on some of your shows, to do Tappy Break with you, and feel free to actually experiment. That's been one of the great things. That's been one of the great things that I've been enjoying about Blab. I do want to say hello and thank you to the Holy Shift Show flock that's been around for the last year. That's slowly starting to grow, and as Google Plus reconfigures, I'll have to be, listening closely inside to see how to continue to use Hangouts for pleasure and enjoyment, in concert with some of the thoughts and wishes and reflections of some of my good friends and folks over here. But hello, flockers. If you are watching live, either over on YouTube or on the Google Plus event page, please add your questions and comments. We have Comment Tracker up and running, and I would love to be acknowledging you. Okay. Somebody else. Christine L. Bowen, how about you?
We are in sync, Elaine. I was just about to unmute when you called on me. I am so grateful, number one, to be included in this episode for Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. And Google Plus for me has really been a dream come true. I'm always a proponent of face-to-face networking. There's nothing that replaces the human touch, and I believe the video element has really added a huge component to all of our networking efforts. Google Plus has really brought to me some amazing people, amazing relationships, just like Cheri said, people that are really, really near and dear to my heart and are in my corner championing my journey. That's priceless. And Blab for me has also been a dream come true, because I believe that it allows us to let our hair down, if you will, and converse on a much deeper level and communicate that way. So I'm really grateful for all my connections, including those of you here on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. And Dave Moore. Dave Moore, I'm so grateful that you've joined me for so many Holy Shift shows with your wit and your wisdom and your masks from time to time.
Yeah, I spend my life getting people to get rid of their masks, and occasionally I put one on here, don't I? But yeah, sometimes probably a good idea, I think, if I do well. But yeah, I think this has been one of those times in life when social media has advanced greatly and rapidly over the last year. Certainly, the change is evident from the time that you and I, when you first started your shows. If you look at how social media was then and what's available, it's become so readily available and increased in size and opportunity there. I think the good thing about it is that people who are in business on their own are not on their own anymore, and they can go online, find other people with the same challenges, the same difficulties and hurdles in business, the same challenges, difficulties and hurdles in life, and we can get answers. And I think, having spent a long time in the corporate world, where our corporate structure and what we did as a cable TV and telephone company, it was Comcast, it was very secretive. We didn't want anybody to know how we did what we did. But I found that this is just such an open resource where people willingly help other people in how to do this. And it's unique, I think. There is no division, there's no barrier, there's no secrecy. If you've got an issue or a problem with Blab, you've got an issue or a problem with Hangouts, someone will tell you online how to get around it. And that's the beauty of it, I think. That's the one thing that stands out for me, is the acceptance of people, of just jumping into something, talking to people you don't know, never met before, on the other side of the world, flocking all over the world, shall we say, and being able to communicate with people you would never have met and remain in contact with them, and you find that they become friends even though you've never met in person. I think it's such a leap it's taken in the last year. If we equate it with the time when you first started doing these shows, in that short space of time, it's jumped again. I think it's very exciting.
Yeah. So, Dave, and I might ask you for your response to this question later, but I'm curious about whether your experience has changed because you are using mobile differently, or whether you are, for the people that assist you with your work, whether you're guiding them so that, your work is more accessible, again, on mobile. So think about that and maybe answer later. Eli, you have such an amazing grasp on all of these, not just social media changes, but, geopolitical, economic, social, comedic, you name it. So what's going on? What are you particularly appreciative for in the social realm?
Well, another F word, freedom. I'm all about freedom, and what I see happening is there's a greater freedom of movement and sharing happening, arising around social media. A few years ago, one of the things that would have frustrated me the most was sort of like everybody saying, "Oh, I'm on Facebook. What do I need another social network for?" And I was tearing my hair out. I was like, "Really? You want one company to define the extent of your social interactions?" What a difference a few years makes, with the rise of all sorts of popular social networks in that time, and people spending more time on multiple networks, and networks tearing down the walls, with new sharing options, ways of sharing from different social networks to Twitter or Facebook, better tools for cross-posting and sharing across networks. It's a much more open territory than it used to be. And whereas a few years back, if you were checking out a niche social network, it could be very hard to find anybody you knew in real life on one. Very easy these days, particularly with the power of mobile and our contact list as a resource that every app can potentially tap into in order to connect us to the people that we care about across different platforms.
Yeah, Eli, this last week with this whole new Google Plus emerging with a very shortened profile, even what you can put up in the About Me section is very different than the old classic Google Plus. So trying to adjust to that, but how amazing it is that now when you go to make a post in the new Google Plus, your options to share your posts or others' posts to Facebook, to Twitter, I think, not just within Google Plus, that is a huge, huge, huge difference. And to me, it suggests this, this dancing, this circling, this unification, and appreciation of one platform for the other platforms. It makes it much more willing for me to create my content, once again, on my Google Plus platform, put it in collections, but then still be able to share it on out easily to these other platforms. I mean, I am really excited about that. Really excited. So, is that where you're saying the freedom and the cross-pollination and the the positive benefit that's going to reap for all of us?
Well, that's absolutely one area, and Google, I think, especially has really excited me with their switch away from trying to suck everything in, sort of Facebook-like, to now, you know, making it easier to share out, bring people in, Google Photos, you know, shared albums with people who don't even have Google accounts, don't even have the software installed. Just send them a link. Boom. I love that kind of freedom, you know, because the link is what built the web. And I still believe the link is what will keep the open web the most powerful thing, more powerful than any of its children that try to wall off and own it all for themselves. Open will win as long as we believe in it and fight for it. And I'm glad to see that, you know, even though it's somewhat of an admission that their Google Plus strategy kind of failed, I'm glad to see that Google is embracing this freedom finally.
Yeah. So I'm going to pause for just a minute. Christine, and to some of the others here in the panel, I mentioned I couldn't get Chrome, which is the browser I typically use for broadcasting my Hangouts on air. I couldn't get it to work. So I'm hosting this one, I'm working this one from Mozilla Firefox. So my tabs are a little different, and I'm not seeing, even in my comment tracker, I'm not having it refreshed the way I normally do. Christine, would you be willing to open up a tab and see if there are any new comments or visitors on the G Plus event page and could report back? If you would check on that, and then I'm going to go on over to Lisa Dodd. And Lisa, you know, it's been so much fun getting to know you this year. You know, we met as part of a community that took the same workshop or training from Janet Atwood, Marcy Scheimhoff, Chris Atwood, and Jeff Affleck. And I was so thrilled to be able to help you showcase, you know, your new book, Finding Fabulous. And so, you know, just share a little bit about your social journey this year with a book launch, and, you know, and some of the new awarenesses you have or things that you're grateful for as you kind of tiptoe bit by bit to get more comfortable in this new territory.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine. And, you know, a big thank you to you, really, for introducing me to a different use for Google Hangouts and for Blab. I'd used Google Hangouts before, but really just to communicate with friends of mine from other countries and other states. And so certainly in launching a book, I'm getting a new appreciation for connecting with other people through all these different platforms. And, you know, as I've mentioned to you before, I wasn't really much of a social media user. Back in my corporate days, I think I was just getting about 200 emails a day, and I got so sick of working on my computer for work that it was the last place I wanted to be when I got home at nighttime. And so a big appreciation for me in getting really a chance to just dabble in all of these different platforms, and certainly with Blab and Google Hangouts with you. And you know, I find it's a lot. I enjoy it a lot more than when I'm doing a podcast that's just audio and not video, that there's a lot of more of a connection, that you can see people's faces and you get to know people and you really get to understand who they are a little bit better than just hearing their voice. And certainly that's even 10 times greater than just seeing you know, text. When you're reading people's Twitters or you're looking at Facebook comments, it's just really not the same depth that you can really understand who people are and what they're up to as you can when you actually get to see, hear, and sort of feel their energy.
Right, and you know, it's part of the whole know, like, and trust factor. When we see people's gestures, their body language, we just get a richer feel of the entire vibe of the person. You know, not only the content, the things they're talking about, the values that they share, but you know, the whole package that it's coming forth in, and even the environments that they're broadcasting with. We see people on Periscope and on Blab. You know, they might be using their mobile device and broadcasting from their backyard or from their parked automobile. You know, so we bring our rich live experiences out to the world. We share these experiences in vibrant ways as, once again, the technological advances happen, and and people can see more of the real going on. I love it. So hi there, Jeremy Murphy. Give us your 2 cents. What are you thankful for on all this social stuff?
Well, one of my favorite F words that I'm thankful for is friendship. And I'm just amazed that in the past year has been one of the toughest years of my life. And I've lost a lot of friends, but the friends that I've gained from Google+, from Blab, from Twitter, from other social networks, I mean, I feel like that network is stronger than ever. And even if you lose people, from your inner circle, social media and meeting people online, it allows you to replace those vacancies with people that can meaningfully help you transform your life. And I'm just so grateful to, have people that are available at your fingertips to answer questions, or, if you're trying to start new businesses, you're an entrepreneur. There's a lot of us that are entrepreneurial in nature, spirit, and business, and I think if we share ideas, we can have a really powerful impact on, how we can help people transform their lives and improve the world.
Yeah, and indeed, over on Blab, where the scheduling of shows tends to be quicker, briefer, easier.
True.
You can still promote them certainly very easily, via Twitter, and I love that. But it is easy making connections, and because so many people show up to participate on those shows,
right.
We certainly we get to know, we get to get a sense of people quickly, and then say, oh yeah, I would like to follow them. I am curious about them. I would like to support them. So I've been appreciating some of the same thing, even though I haven't had quite some of the life change that you have. But indeed, just as Lisa has said, if you are undergoing a life change, you're retiring and want to open up a whole new world of activity and service, or if you're leaving the corporate arena and want to start out something entrepreneurial, then making these rich connections in the social environment to help you, find the resources you need can be really, really wonderful. And now at this point, I would like to jump over to my main, I'll call her my main Google gal, Molly Youngblood Geiger. Molly, I'm so glad you were able to pop in today. And, you have been such a valuable giver of information and tips and support to so many different communities and arenas. I want to acknowledge how I've been enriched by the insights, about all things Google myself. But did I hear there's actually a new award or designation that you received?
Yeah.
Tell us. Be proud. I know you don't do these things to get awards, but what's the newest one, Molly?
Oh my God, last week was crazy. I hosted a Google Partners Connect event on Thursday, and on the exact same day, one of my managers at Google, Yvonne Lee, over the Google Partners community, actually acknowledged that I won the Google Partners Most Supported Partner Award. So I'm getting a special certificate from Google to acknowledge that award. And at the same time, a week earlier, I've been participating in the Google Hangouts Help Forum, where I've been answering questions about Hangouts, technical questions and how to run Hangouts and that type of thing. And I have a new manager at Googleplex. His name's Chris Wong, and he has actually made me a rising star in that community. So now I'm a rising star not only in Google Partners, but also the Google Hangouts forum, and they're already talking about promoting me to be a top contributor. He told me in the next week or two I'm going to be getting a phone call from, I guess, the onboarding team for the top contributor group. So I'm just like, I don't know, just all this stuff has happened in the last couple weeks. But I just want to say that I'm really thankful for Hangouts. I mean, I can just say for myself that Hangouts has opened up a whole new just platform for me. I've connected with so many people like yourself, you know, I mean, so many different events that I've been on, and I think what it is with Google is, you know, it's like you were saying, if you just give of yourself, if you just share information that you know, they reward you with that. They give you these designations and these acknowledgments and that type of thing. So that's, you know, I mean, I've just been really thankful for all the different interactions that I've had with Hangouts. So.
And a little Google swag comes your way from time to time.
All the time. I've got, you know, you see my banners in the back. I've gotten thumb drives, pens, notepads, jackets, shirts. I mean, just all this stuff. One of the really things I'm excited about with the Top Contributor Program, and a lot of people don't realize this, is there's only like around 500 people in the entire world that's a top contributor. And one of my colleagues, William Rock, I think you're familiar with him, he's a top contributor, and he was talking about he got to participate with the TC Summit last October, and I've actually been invited to go to the Googleplex a couple of years ago. I didn't go, but they actually pay for all the top contributors to go to Google once per year. It's usually in October, and so I'm like really excited because I think I might make it out there next year, and I've been trying for like 2 years now. But one of the things I'm really happy about with Hangouts is I've recently, at this Google Partners Connect event, connected with the Jacksonville IT Council. And I've been trying to connect with some city forefathers, if you will, for a couple of years now on connecting with Google and these events that they're doing, and I finally did it. They've said from now on, every quarter when I do these Google Partners Connect events, they're going to let me host it at the college in downtown Jacksonville. So I'm very thankful for so many things. I think it's a great idea for your Hangout today about, you know, what are you thankful for? So those are just a few of the things I'm thankful for, Elaine.
Yeah, that's great. So we appreciate, and I know I will echo the thankful sentiments of especially so many people in the Google Partners community, and you know, all those who've watched your contributions on Roland Takaoka's Saturday morning marketing Smarties group. You've really helped a lot of people get a grasp on a lot of the changes that have been coming up in Google, things going mobile and collections as well. Now, I'd like to go kind of round robin and just ask each person for a shorter contribution, you know, either a person that you've met in social media land that you didn't expect to meet, or you formed a relationship with that you're appreciating, you know, or if you have a special thank you quote or gratitude quote that you'd like to share, I'd like to hear from you. Anybody would like to jump on up with that first?
I'll go, Elaine.
Christine? Okay.
The first person that comes to mind that I'm thankful for that I've met through social media is Roy Montero. We met on Twitter about 5.5 years ago. He has definitely been the deepest divine connection ever. He's such a giving spirit, always willing to share knowledge. I call it frienducation, which is a F word from Stephanie Sims. So I'm very grateful for him on social media. I'm grateful for all my connections, but he's the first one that comes to mind.
And it's so interesting. When it came over to Google Plus, he does not like to appear on camera.
Yes.
But boy, he has made a presence for himself, still not being on camera, over on Blab. He's loved and adored on Blab, just being his authentic self. I think that's fascinating. Okay, Dave Moore. Thank you for putting up the lovely quote that you did.
Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. It's about gratitude. It's you know, gratitude is a good thing. You know, when you find leaders who are grateful, people who are grateful about the people who work with them rather than for them, It's a sign of a good leader is that they've got people alongside them rather than behind them or below them. I'm grateful for too many people to name here. I'm quite a Luddite as far as computers and online is concerned, as you know, you're aware, and I know my limitations. So I hand the reins over to other people. But I found whether or not it's using it and the people that I'm connecting with are making it a lot simpler for me. And people like Christine and Jeremy, Cheri, and you, Elaine, draw me towards the laptop or the computer and to go online and see what you're up to, see what you're talking about, and see what you're doing. I had never envisaged, just sitting here in conversation with people on the computer a couple of years ago. I did the Twitter stuff, I did the Facebook stuff, still do, but Google has opened up a world. To me, it's like a crack in the wall through which you see the world, and this has been enlightening to me. And the people I've met and the people I know now on here are such brilliant minds that unless you're online you would never know of. And now everybody's getting their voice, and everybody their voice is getting louder and louder, rather than the chosen few who have got the avenue onto TV or whatever. This is the way forward, I think. So I'm appreciative of everybody that I've got a connection with.
So Dave, I'm gonna put a little seed challenge out to you, because I know you're taking training to be a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
So I hope you can have someone along with you as you get more accomplished or you get your license or something, so that you can do some kind of little broadcast, maybe even a periscope up from the helicopter, with someone else there with you. I'm just planting the seed because we would love to have your high-flying bird's eye view. Anyway, we'll catch you later. I in about 10 minutes, I have to wind up this Hangout so we can jump on over to Blab for those in the panel that would like to continue the conversation. Every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I host a Blab called Declutter Day. It's all about, thinning out the things, particularly the physical things, but often the mental and emotional things we let go of accompany our physical decluttering. And so the topic we're going to be talking about today is saying thank you as we say goodbye and let go of things. So I hope some of you can join me over there. But let me jump on back over to Eli. Eli, is there somebody you've connected with this year that's meant a lot to you, or just some other reflection on gratitude and thankfulness?
Oh, yeah, there's been several, including yourself. Too many really to name, honestly. This has been a very good year for that, for me, for making important connections with people online. So I don't want to try to go through the entire list because I know I'll leave somebody out. As far as reflections on gratitude, I mean, the internet, social media, that for me over these last 4 years, especially in my life, have been an incredible way for me to reach out and find like-minded people and people who are at a higher level, in a way that would be much harder to find that class of people in person. I'd have to go all over the place, whereas I can, from the comfort of my home, go all over the world, meet and introduce myself to amazing people. And, I'm just one of those incorrigibly excitable ones, too, who annoys the crap out of people whenever social networks are changing by going, guys, this is good. This is super good, guys.
Well, I love your just enthusiasm about so many things, whether you're appreciating something or panning something. You do it with vivid expression, and we really love that. Okay, Jeremy, on over to you. Clock is ticking. Shoot.
All right, I'm going to go quickly because I know you're pressed on time. Christine, you stole my answer. Darn it. I was going to choose Roy Montero, too. I haven't known him as long as you have, but he's had a dramatic influence in my life. So to not duplicate Christine's answer, I'm going to thank Marilyn Shannon and all the people in the Skywire community have just had a huge dramatic influence in my life in becoming more intuitive, more creative. I think the group has just had wonderful discussions, very powerful discussions, and Elaine, you've been a part of that. Dave Moore, Katrina Van Cook, Gail Harris, and I'm not going to remember everybody's name, but those are a handful of people who have had a very powerful influence on helping me look at things differently and just really strengthening my inner core, and I think all of us have that effect on each other, so I'm very thankful for that, and I appreciate everything that all of you have done for me. Thank you.
I'm really glad you brought that up, Jeremy. Just within the last week, Marilyn Shannon, who's the host of this weekly, it's mostly a weekly Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time hangout called Skywire. The focus of that program is always on listening, and basically it's like inner listening, connecting with listening, really connecting with intuitive and inner awarenesses, and how we link that into our experience of connection and communication, with all those people and things that we experience our relationship with. Within the last week, Marilyn said she wanted to try out some listening blabs, or even do a multi-hour blab, kind of like a blab con kind of thing, on this listening and connecting topic. So be on the lookout for more announcements about that coming up in the future. Lisa, any other reflections you want to share? Oh, you're muted. Unmute.
Just realized that. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess it's a good time, too, since we're ending up the show, to thank you again just for having all of us on your show and on your blab, and again for introducing me to this platform and at a timely time for me, and for support of my book as well. So I'll keep it short and simple.
Okay, thank you so much, Lisa. And Molly, I'm particularly grateful that you helped me understand more about, the importance of the work we do, making it more readily accessible and usable via mobile. I'm really so grateful for that, because everything is gearing that way. So, other reflections of you before we close on out our show today?
I first want to say I'm thankful that we connected on Google+. I've enjoyed every single time that you've had me on your show. I would say I'm very, very thankful for the Google Partners community, Google Small Business community. I've learned so much from those people. It's not even funny. Google's had all these hangouts about Partners Connect events. This is where I'm learning all this stuff about mobile. It's from Google. They take the time to do the research. And, Roland, we're actually going to be talking about mobile this Saturday. That's going to be one of the subjects we're talking about. And I'm just really thankful that I found this platform because, 3 years ago, I was just a website designer. That was it. I was a website designer in Jacksonville, Florida, and it was from my manager, Jennifer Quao. She reached out to me and sent me an email, out of the blue, an email from Google saying, hey, we want you to join this community. And I took the opportunity and I just shared, information I have, and other people have shared information they have with me, and here I am. So I really just appreciate the opportunity to learn from you guys and to participate on Hangouts. And that's one other thing I would finally say is I'm very thankful for Hangouts. It's a platform that Google offers. It's free. It literally levels the playing field when it comes to running a business online. You can literally talk to anybody in the entire world, kind of like Eli was pointing out. So that would be one of the final things I would say is I really appreciate the technology that Google's provided with Google Hangouts.
Yeah. And one last person I want to acknowledge so much, Ronnie Binzer, who we all know as our Hangout mastery guy, the first kind of primary Hangout helper that we knew of. He continues to provide guidance to so many of us, and Hangouts aren't going to go away. We may be changing in the way we use them. There are still features about this platform that can't be found anywhere else. We can make these Hangouts completely public, accessible by an unlimited number of people around the world, via the Google Plus platform or via YouTube, and we can make them private or have the viewership limited as well as having so many versatile screen share functions and have different applications that we can use for it. I'm like you, Molly. I'm so grateful for Hangouts. But right now, I think I want to close this show out just in gratitude about our ability to wake up every day and recognize I'm still breathing. I still have another day where I'm alive to live, enjoy, and connect and serve. And for those of us that help others who are ill or need encouragement to get through a health crisis, today, one of our good friends, Melanie Hall, of Big Uptick Marketing and host of the Lights, Camera, Hangouts, Hangout on Air. She's having a medical procedure today, so we are holding her in our thoughts and prayers that she'll have a procedure with good outcomes and a comfortable recovery. So we hold her in our thoughts. And I know there are some folks here on the panel that have gone through health stuff in the past year, and yet we're back here together with each other. Let's hold everyone in the world facing health challenges, housing challenges, mobility and relocation challenges to be open to receive the help that is there, that may show up in ways that are surprising and unexpected. And let's fuel each other to, put out our own love and service and laughter in the best way we know every day. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wish a happy Thanksgiving holiday to everyone here in the U.S. For those in Canada, I know you celebrate Thanksgiving actually in October, but like Lisa, I'm glad she's been here to celebrate a little bit of this Thanksgiving week with us. And once again, so appreciative to my panel. Cheri Valentine, who's already left us. I will see her later on today. Christine L. Bowen, thank you, Christine. Dave Moore, thank you. Eli Fennell, thank you. Jeremy Murphy, thank you so much, Jeremy. Lisa Dodd. And Molly Youngblood Geiger. And I would like to invite all of my panelists, please do put in the comment stream if you have any events coming on up that you want to let people know about. Please post them there so folks can enjoy connecting with you again. And now we're going to sign on off and jump on over to Blab And after I end the broadcast, I'll hear which of my panelists might be able to jump on over to the Blab for a little conversation as well. But thank you, everybody. Look for another Holy Shift Show probably in 2 weeks from now. We'll be seeing you, and I look forward to connecting with you on Blab, on Google+, on Facebook, on Twitter. Boy, I'm having fun on Twitter, too. And have a lovely holiday. And as Dave would say, thanks, everybody.